Say man, hey man, it's your boy Booster Fit checking in with another video, and we are back with some more tips for correctional officers, specifically new correctional officers, right? So today we will be talking about the most common mistakes new correctional officers make. Now, it's a lot of things that I could come over here and tell you guys, but we're going to break it down to about 4, okay? And I'll just keep making more videos like this, all right? So number 1. And I think number 1 is something that a lot of officers have coming in fresh. You don't know what to expect, and they do this right here. Overconfidence, okay? Or overconfident. You know, a lot of officers are like that because they come in not knowing what's going on and they want to assert dominance, okay? So, assuming they know everything about the job without relying on experienced colleagues, potentially leading to poor decision making. And that right there can be a lot of people, okay? You come in, some people listen to the experienced officers, but a lot of times those experienced officers, some of them, they like to cut corners. And when you're coming in new, you don't want to cut corners, okay? You want to do everything to the best of your ability. You want to try to do everything right because that's what you should be doing anyway. It don't matter how long you've been in corrections. You always want to try to do the right thing, okay? Because taking a shortcut sometimes, it can come back to get you, okay? It can get you in trouble later on down the line. So you don't want to cut in the corners. So rely on the people that have that experience. Rely on the people that have been there for a long time that's telling you the right thing to do. Now, don't just take someone's word for it. Go find out for yourself. Someone can tell you something, but they may not give you everything, okay? You always want to double check and make sure you are getting the right information, okay? Go to the source, all right? The source is the policy, all right? So if somebody tell you something that you don't know and it's in the policy, go look for yourself and find out because they can tell you anything. When you don't know, then you're going to believe what somebody tell you, okay? So always double check and be sure of yourself, all right? But overconfidence, don't go in there with too much confidence to the point to where you are treating people like inhumane or however you want to say it. You're not treating people like they're supposed to be treated, all right? Yes, true, they are inmates, but you don't want to treat them no different, okay? Treat them like people, all right? At the end of the day, they have already been punished. It's not your job to go in there and double punish them, all right? So number 2, inadequate documentation. Now, this one is very important. Not properly documenting incidents, observations, and inmate interactions, which can create problems in case of investigation, right? That paperwork, paper trail is always going to be there. That can be your best friend, and that can hurt you at the end of the day. That documentation is very, very important. So don't leave out anything, okay? Because a lot of times that happen. But the thing is, when you're working at a facility like I was at the federal prison, they had cameras everywhere, okay? So if you leave something out, your documentation, it's going to come back to bite you, okay? Because the eye in the sky don't lie. So you have to be mindful of that when you are writing your incident reports or something like that. When you're writing an inmate up, you have to be precise. You have to give the facts. You can't give what you think should have happened. You can't give what you thought he was going to do. No, you have to give what that inmate did. You have to give what you did. No cutting corners with that documentation, okay? So you don't want to shortchange that documentation because it's very important. That logbook is very, very, very important because if anything happened, they will revert back to that, okay? So when you are writing the inmate up, write out exactly what he did. Don't cut no corners. Don't say what you thought he did. You better give facts, okay? Especially if you working somewhere that got a bunch of cameras, okay? Because it's not going to be good for you if you lie on that incident report. If you lie in your paperwork, it's not going to be good for you. I promise you that, okay? So that's inadequate documentation, right? So number 3, creating personal relationships. Now, this one right here is not just for new correctional officers. It's for everybody, okay? Creating personal relationships. Getting too friendly, you heard what I said? Getting too friendly with inmates, which can blur professional boundaries and compromise security. Oh man, that one right there. That was so good, I'm gonna read it again. Getting too friendly with inmates, which can blur professional boundaries and compromise security. Oh my goodness. That one right there is very, very, very important, okay? Not just for the new officers, because when you're new, you know, you don't necessarily act too friendly. You try to act tough, the overconfidence. You don't act too friendly starting out, you know, and then once you get comfortable, some people, not all people, some people let their guards down and then they get friendly, okay? But a lot of the new officers that I seen, and when I started, you know, I wasn't friendly. You know, I was still a human being. You know, I was giving people what they're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't friendly like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people out there, they friendly as a box of puppets, okay? And they take that same mentality into the prison. And the inmates love people like that. I work with females like that. And, you know, they wear their clothes tight. You know, they allow the inmates to say things to them that they shouldn't be saying. And the inmates going to test you. They're going to say things to you and wait to see if you're going to respond right. If you don't get the right response, they're going to keep doing it, okay? So you have to stop that kind of stuff in its tracks before it even gets started, okay? So make sure you don't create these personal relationships with these inmates. It's not worth it, okay? Especially if you at the feds, man. They'll lock you up. You know what I'm saying? They'll lock you up for anything with the feds, man. So you don't want to play them games like that, getting friendly with these inmates, because I know some people that got caught up with inmates and they got fired, they lost their job, and they went to prison, okay? You don't want to go down that road, all right? Now, number 4, which is the last one, inmate manipulation. Inmate manipulation. This is number 4, inmate manipulation. Not setting clear boundaries and being too lenient with inmates, making them susceptible to manipulation and requests that could compromise security. So inmate manipulation and creating personal relationships, they kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you want to set boundaries, okay? Like I just talked about, you don't want to let the inmates do things that they think is okay, because in reality, it's not okay. Some stuff that they say is not okay. Okay, they shouldn't be asking you anything personal. They shouldn't be complimenting you like the female. They shouldn't be doing that. Even the guys, they shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You have to stop that stuff before it gets started. They start small and they get big. Okay, so they will do something like small first and get you to kind of feed into it. You know what I'm saying? Just to get you on their side, make you agree with them, okay? It's small manipulation tactics. Like, for example, you can have an inmate like, okay, you like a certain football team, all right? Let's say you like this team, and you gonna start talking to an inmate. Get what he gonna say? That's my team too. So now, in his head, he telling you that so y'all can have something in common. So every time he see you, he will talk about that football team, okay? Especially if it's football season. He will talk about that team if he see you, because remember, you told him that's your favorite team, and he told you that's his favorite team. So you have to be careful with stuff like that, because the inmates are out to manipulate you. Not all of them, but you know, the majority of them, they out to manipulate you and try to see what they can get away with. So those were 4 of the most common mistakes new correctional officers make. So all the new correctional officers out there, I want you to take that and use that and try not to fall into those traps that the inmates set for you, okay? Love those that love you, and I'm out of here, man. Ciao!